So you clicked on this video to increase your movement. Okay. Well, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to increase your movement, and it's actually really easy. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to sprint 90. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to use the new movement. I'm going to be teaching you guys what movement you should be holding, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to increase your movement in general. This seems like a beautiful video. So all you've got to do is like and subscribe. I post daily, and that's all I ask for, man. Without further ado, let's jump in. Alright guys, so the first step to having better movement in general is your sprint bind. You want to make your sprint bind, if you're on keyboard and mouse, to something that you could easily click, so you can easily click it while building, while editing, and doing many more things. Having your bind on something completely random will scuff up your sprinting, mess up your movement, and get you killed easily. Now the first movement tech that I'm going to be teaching you guys is sprint 90s. Sprint 90s is so underrated. Like, not too many people know about it, and it's just so easy to do and so good for that movement and getting hard on your opponents. But how do you actually do a sprint 90? Well, first of all, you need to know how to do a 90. And if you don't know how to do a 90, then all you have to do is place a stair, a wall, and a stair. Stair, walls, wall, stair, same thing. And now we're going to make it a little bit harder for you. You're going to add a floor in there. And just keep jumping with it. And then just jump with it. But do you guys know how to actually keep running without jumping? Because these are just making your 90s even faster. And then you've got without the wall, just making them even faster. And then sprinting came to the game, and it enabled you to be able to just full sprint and get high ground easily. Now I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do these sprint 90s. So first of all, you want to be on the edge of your ramp. You don't want to be in the middle, because then you just get caught under your ramp and it messes up the whole thing. But if you're on the edge, you can never get caught in your ramp, and it's honestly just perfect. So now that you're on the edge of your ramp, it's the sprinting part, where it's all fast and it's hard. And this bit takes a little bit of time getting used to it. So just keep practicing this, being on the edge of your stair and sprinting. Keep practicing it. You want to have high sense to do this as well, and be on keyboard and mouse preferably. It makes it so much easier than on controller with low sense. And once you keep practicing it and you know how to do a sprint 90, this is already a good step into becoming a better movement player, I guess you could call it. Because sprint 90s are the most impactful way to get height on your opponents. Alright guys, now that we know how to sprint 90 and whatnot, let's talk about our movement in general. Say, you know, you're farming a tree or something and you die. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, my movement's so bad. But in reality, when you're farming and whatnot, you want to be moving so your opponent misses a shot. This already makes your movement a little bit better. When you're farming, don't just stand still and just get shot. Make sure you're moving around so you don't get shot as well. Now let's talk about just in general. Pretend you didn't have a void mask, you didn't have a katana or anything, and you're just rotating. You want to use your sprinting as, what can I say, partially as possible. You don't want to be jumping when you're sprinting all the time. This just gets rid of your stamina too quick. You want to be sprinting, sliding down hills when you can, jumping as soon as your sprint bar is about to be finished, and making sure you don't get beamed as easily. Say you do have sprint, and you just don't really use it like this, and you just get full beamed. This is terrible compared to sprinting and not getting hit at all. Not only does sprinting increase your movement, but it makes it so your opponents, it's harder for them to hit you. So now that you know how to do complicated things like sprint 90, and you just know how to use movement in general, let's talk about the last step in the process to getting your movement on track. Let's talk about the new movement in the game. You've got things like running up walls, you've got things like sliding through windows, and you've got things like roly-poling. Now, in reality, none of these are good. Literally none of them. Like, when are you realistically going to be using this mechanic in Fortnite, sliding through a window? It is just the most stupid thing ever. And then you've got wall running. When you might think this is a pretty cool mechanic. It might be cool, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily good. The running up wall mechanic is just absolutely stupid, and the only reason you should ever be using it is if you have no mats and you have to run up a wall and mantle over it. That is the only reason you should ever be using that. And now let's talk about the roly-poly mechanic. This roly-poly mechanic doesn't help you at all. It doesn't save you from full damage. It doesn't even, really give you that much of a boost in movement when you can literally just jump and slide. So, don't use any of them, guys, alright? I'll tell you guys that much, and if you can do all of these three things, basically, don't use any of the new movement. In the game, use the Void Mask and the Katana. Use things like sprinting 90s, and make sure you're using your movement in general to the best of its ability. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I'm not kidding when I say this, but if you do follow these three guides, using things like sprint 90s, just using your movement in general, using it to the best of its ability, and not using any of the new movement features, you will see an improvement in your movement. Please like and subscribe as well. Comment down below if you're new. Without further ado, it's been your boy Jaden, and I'm out. Peace.